Welcome to The Burning of the Midnight Lamp, where we are dissecting music history, album by album, track by track. And today we have come to the 12th track on David Bowie's album The Next Day from 2013, You Will Set the World on Fire. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to hear us discussing the whole album, the other tracks on this album, and of course, after a while, also other albums and other artists as well. We also have a podcast where we are discussing the full album at length, and we have a Patreon channel if you'd like to support us there, where we have published a full podcast, and you can also join us on listening to the album from start to finish. And by that, we'll jump right into You Will Set the World on Fire.
Midnight in the village, Seagull lights the candles from bitter end to gaslight. Bias leaves the stage. Old stage notes when the black girl and guitar burn together, hot in rage. You've got what it takes. You say too much. Oh, you will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe. I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation. I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. Kennedy would kill for the lines that you've written. Van Ronk says to Bobby, she's the next real thing. Crowds in the half-light screaming like a banshee. You're in the boat, babe, we're in the water. You say too much. Oh, you will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe. I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation. I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. Oh, I can work the scene, babe. I can see the magazines. I can hear the nation. I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. I can work the scene, babe. I can see the magazines. Oh, I can hear the nation. I can hear the nation cry. You will set the world, babe. You will set the world on fire. You will set it on fire.
So the 12th track on The Next Day is You Will Set the World on Fire, and a catchy song.
Did it set your world on fire, Don?
It definitely did. Yeah. I like this track as well. Not as much as How Does the Grass Grow, but it's a good track. I like also the opening, that it's kind of has this.
It's not a very typical
No,
Bowie melody.
it's not. Especially the opening, I guess we could
Mm.
say. And it reminded me immediately of an old classical little bit of soul, which is, it's been covered by many artists, but it's actually by a Coventry band called the Little Darlings
Mhm.
from 1965 that also has a slightly different progression, chord progression, but the kind of the rhythm section is very alike to this song.
There's something in the song, especially the chorus, that sends my thoughts back to the "Never Let Me Down" period of Bowie, which may sound negative, but I would say it would be a catchy and a great song on that album. But it has that sort of, there are elements there musically that reminds me of that album. Could be a specific song, but again, I can't sort of.
Bang
point-
Bang, I think.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. No, it would be a standout track on Never Let Me Down.
Mm.
And on the Glass Spider tour, you can imagine this as a great song on that.
And that sort of hard rock riff
Stage.
and the hard rock music, it has also that 80s feeling to it, I would say.
Yeah, it does a bit. It also reminded me of another song that has this type of gear shift. That
Mhm.
is a Nick Cave song called "There She Goes, My Beautiful World,"
Mhm.
also about world, which is also has this type of catchy, almost hard rocking type of chorus.
And it's maybe an odd choice of music, and maybe that's a theme on the whole album, actually, the contrast between what he's singing about and the music. But here he's basically singing about the folk scene in New York in the 1960s, but he put it over an 80s hard rock type of sound,
Yes.
which is a bit of an odd choice, maybe. But
It's a very odd choice. I was wondering why because this would be a perfect opportunity to actually do something that would be more folk and acoustic type of guitar. But I guess he wasn't really interested in that at this time.
And it's also a character piece because the voice of the lyric is clearly one person. It's not an impressionistic collage of various. It's not a cut up. It's not. It's one story told by a person being, manager, music manager, music corporation style suit who goes to the village and sees this revolutionary folk rock singer, somebody singing young Bob Dylan or something, and proclaiming that this will be something that will change the world, set the world on fire. I can hear the nations crying, and Bowie has played that kind of character slightly in the I think in the Absolute Beginners movie. I can't remember that's Motivation. Where is this salesperson character, and Bowie's father, wasn't he a public relation?
could be.
I think so. So I think Bowie is he's playing this sleazy manager character in this lyric.
I mean, a sleazy character, maybe that fits into one of those 3 words that he chose to describe the song, and those 3 words were manipulate, origin, and text.
Well, it's definitely a manipulative voice in this lyric.
An origin, what can we think of? Would that be the folk scene that kind of set the stage for?
Could very well be. Yeah, I was thinking the same.
Yeah, because I mean, without the folk scene, we wouldn't have the music we have today anyway.
Is this Ken Pitt speaking to young David Bowie? It doesn't fit, of course, but well.
It could be. I mean, there are many references in the texts to the folk scene, of course, and starting in the first line, "Midnight in the Village." Of course, it's the Village Green or Greenwich Village in New York, where the folk scene was in the 1960s, especially early 1960s. You mentioned Seeger lights the candles.
Pete Seeger.
From Bitter and to Gaslights, those were cafes.
Mm.
Greenwich Village. Baez leaves the stage.
Joan Baez.
And Oakes takes notes. Phil Oakes, is that the name? Then he mentions a black girl, which has been possibly the folk singer Odetta. And then in the second verse, he's talking about Kennedy and Van Ronk, and Van Ronk says to Bobby, she's the next real thing. That's Bobby there. It's most likely Bob Dylan, then I would assume.
Mm.
That makes sense. I was thinking about Bobby Kennedy. But I couldn't really understand why that would be in there. So.
Yeah, well, this lyric, it is weirdly specific for a Bowie lyric in this era. He's more often more ambiguous, but here he's telling us a short story. But still, there's something about this track, even though it's a great track on its own, and I'm sure, on Never Let Me Down, it would have been a highlight. It could have been a hit. You can imagine it being played on the radio in the 80s. But in this context, it sticks out because it has a very different vibe or atmosphere than many other tracks. So it's one of 4 or 5 tracks that it doesn't fit as well with the others, I would think.
Can I just ask you, would you replace Time Will Crawl with this one, if you could?
No, but I think it fits well beside the new version of Time Will Crawl that he made in 2009 or something.
Yeah, I agree.
Where he changed the instruments.
It's almost like he got inspired by that version.
That could be.
Yeah.
And of course, after his death, they made a new version of Never Let Me Down to complete the Time Will Crawl, making all songs in the same vein. And this would fit like a glove on that album. The new version, of course.
Yeah, but it's not out of place on this album either. Or is it?
So Chris doesn't think this song fits very well on the album. Ton thinks it's a good match. What do you think? Please comment below if you have any views on that topic. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to hear our other discussions on the Next Day album by David Bowie. And later as well, we will do other albums as well by both Bowie and other artists. So please keep an eye out for those. And by that, it's only to say goodbye to everyone who was watching us. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See you soon.